We've just been presented with another set of sobering statistics on the state of security in Kaduna State. The data on security incidents in the state during the second quarter of 2021 reflects the real agony of our citizens and communities, their pains and losses, and the fears and anxiety that have created considerable distress. The report also outlines what the Kaduna State government and the security agencies are doing to contain the situation and provide relief to our communities. As governor of this state, it is a matter of profound regret for me that our considerable investments in security are yet to manifest in the defeat or at least the considerable degradation of the criminals that menace our people. We have consistently supported the federal security agencies deployed to our state with logistics, resources, and equipment. Apart from these recurrent expenses, the state government has undertaken significant capital expenditure to provide facilities that can multiply the capacity of security agencies to deter crime and conduct effective investigations of those that do occur. We created the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs to provide a specialized and dedicated institution to coordinate these investments and our liaison with federal security agencies. It is clear to us that these considerable investments require structural changes in the security sector for their effectiveness. Citizens who have been affected by crime and insecurity are not interested in the distinctions between the federal and state governments in terms of their powers over security. As a state government, we have also seen at close quarters how the federal security agencies are limited by manpower deficits, technology, and other resources. There are simply not enough boots on the ground to have credible deployments in most places to protect communities, deter crime, and enforce law and order. Therefore, the state government must be empowered and supported by the federal government to make up the manpower deficit in the security sector. An unconventional approach is required to enable us better protect our communities, and we're engaging with the federal government and the leadership of the security agencies on this. We are pursuing this initiative even as we nudge the federal government to launch simultaneous military operations across all the 7 states of the Northwest and the neighboring Niger State. I wish to appeal to all the citizens and residents of Kaduna State to remain law-abiding and to uphold peace in their communities as best as they can. On behalf of the state government, I apologize for all the pains and sorrow insecurity is causing our people, despite the sincere and consistent efforts and investments of hard-earned resources by the state government. We appreciate the sacrifices of our security forces that are constantly losing soldiers, policemen, and others in the pursuit of these bandits. I assure everyone that we are working hard to solve this problem. It is our solemn duty to do so.
We have men that at our end, for instance, I was saying that the quick response or response squad we are talking about is the one that we want to use in monitoring the schools that are vulnerable. That quick response squad, when schools are being monitored, surveillance is being carried out. Obviously, that will go a long way in minimizing the banditry of kidnapping students and children. So that's exactly what we want to do. We have been quite okay, but no matter what happens, we may not have enough. But we have been given the directive to carry out that instruction. So all vulnerable schools will be monitored and surveillance will be mounted in these schools. That was a directive given by the Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in person of Ahmed Abubakar, AOD, PhD, MNI. It's a directive that we must carry out.
The front lines are in Benungwari, Giwa, Igabi, Chukun, Kajuru, Kachia, Sanga, Zaria, and Sanga local government areas. Now, in these local government areas, we have threats. There's a looming food insecurity because thousands of farmers are unable to access their farmlands as a result of banditry. Many of them are being chased while working in their farms. Now, coming to education, access to schools, especially in the frontline areas that I mentioned in the report, is becoming a threat because pupils and students are unable to access schools. You will also agree with us that teachers who are imparting knowledge are also unable to do their work, to deliver education, to deliver education and knowledge to pupils and students. So you can see the threat there. And there is also a threat to health facilities across the states, because most of the primary healthcare centers in areas we considered flashpoint or high risk areas, you realize that some of these facilities are being attacked, and it's very difficult for health workers to access these facilities. So it's clearly that locals or citizenry who live in these flash points are unable to access health services. Then we also talk about the rural economy. You look at the weekly markets in these locations, because of banditry, they are unable to take place. So the collapse of rural economy is imminent. So these are some of the problems that we observed in the second quarter of 2021. Like we mentioned, we lost about 222 citizens in the quarter that we just reviewed. We have 774 cases of kidnapping, meaning that 774 citizens were kidnapped, 222 citizens were killed, 266 sustained injuries as a result of this. But there's also positive side on it. 7 bandits were neutralized in the course of contact with the military and the police and other security agencies. And dozens of bandit camps were also destroyed. We also made it clear that dozens of AK-47 rifles and about 2,925 rounds of ammunition were equally recovered, and a lot of arrests have been made, and as we speak, interrogation is in progress. So there are indeed efforts. We are on our feet. We are not just talking. For any successful attack, so to say, that you have seen, there are many more that are being averted. But like bad news, sell, it flies, than the good news. So certainly there are efforts. The strategy is being reviewed, and it's not something that we can come out and talk about it. But we're certainly working out on a new approach. As we talk, we have a few number of informants who have been arrested as a result of their complicit in some of these acts, banditry, kidnapping, and other crime. And they are being interrogated, and they are making useful confession to security agencies. So it's very, very important, because the informant are playing a central role. Apart from giving out targets, they are also serving as couriers. They are also logistic suppliers to these bandits. So you can see how dangerous and how central they are as far as banditry, kidnapping, and other acts that undermine security of the citizenry is concerned. So we really need to stand up. Our communities must be on their feet, because it's a real threat.
Can you distribute it to them?